Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Hi, Toasty. I'm PhantomHeart. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. Are we currently recording or has that not started yet?
Yes, we are currently recording.
Oh yeah. That's nice to meet you too.
Yes,
Um,
very, very nice to meet you.
what time is it in your time zone?
9:58.
It is
Oh
currently
my god.
it's almost 11, so it's not too late,
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least for my nocturnal schedule. Anyways, what do you want to know? I guess you have a list of questions, but like I
Yeah.
feel like we should start about my history with Toby. I do want to state this first. I don't hate Toby. I don't have any hard
Gotcha,
feelings to
gotcha.
her. I haven't talked to her in like ages. While all this went down, we kind of had been there's been a lot of silence between us. But I'd hope and I'd imagine that she doesn't hate me. Who knows? But yeah. I have any questions? Well,
All right, but yeah, clear out of the way. You and Toby currently non-contact, and you don't have any
well,
harsh feelings against her.
I'd hope not. Yeah, I don't have any hard feelings towards her.
Gotcha, gotcha. Don't worry. We're looking at this at a third party, a neutral viewpoint.
Hmm.
We're getting everyone's opinions and everyone's perspectives involved because this has become a drama that's escalated so much. It's dragged in so many people, and I myself, I usually don't get involved with the script writing process. I'm usually strictly a script editor.
Hmm.
However, because Junkie does have some previous biases, he pulled me in because I literally do not know anything about the situation until I started researching videos.
Um, do you know about a group called the Fruitcake Club? Have you been
Yes,
waiting? Okay.
I'm aware of generally around the Fruitcake Club. Most of our research has been going into the main Omni and Kai drama, but because we are addressing Toby's drama as a whole, we were made aware of the Yaoi drama, which brought up the concerns of Ben the Looney, Trent, and then the server issues with the Fruitcake Club. And as we're going into every single member of the Fruitcake Club, we interviewed several members. Some have denied interviews, some have taken interviews. So we're just going down a list, getting everybody's stories, getting all of our ducks in a row.
Would you like me to tell you the history of the Fruitcake Club?
Yes, please, please do.
Okay, so do you know Madame? Do you remember Madame?
Yes, the madam situation.
So this Fruitcake Club we used to call it the Cool Kids Club, but the Fruitcake Club started ages and ages and ages ago, back when, I think in like September, when the Madame situation was firing off. I'll just give you the full history.
Gotcha.
Anyways, this is like September. I released a video. Slimurs got in contact with me. We talked, and then we got in contact with the mods, and we were gonna make like one big video and stuff like that. It never
Mm-hmm.
happened. We never made the video, but a bunch of the mods, Slimmers, Xena, and another guy named OMG James, we were like the first people into the server. Now, I do want to preface this. Xena is not really involved in this, but in the history of this like little clique, yeah, she is a little bit, but she's not really involved in much drama. All she did was call someone a simp, and that that was the thing. That was a coconut brain move for her.
Yeah, I am currently also interviewing ZZ, Miss ZZ.
So I've heard.
Yes.
So I've heard.
Yeah, I think I sent your guys' interview prompts like maybe a
At the
minute in
same time,
between each other. Yep, and
and
then she
then
got back to
we
me.
were in a call while that happened too, and she was like, "Oh, this phantom person is talking to me," and I'm like, "Hey, no, when the call started, I was like, "Hey, Xena, look what I found! Look what popped into my email. I'm big famous YouTuber boy."
Yeah.
Anyway, so that happened, and like I remember it was really weird with Xena. Uh, my relationship with her, because like it was very small YouTuber boy. Wasn't a big YouTuber boy. Anyways, and this is like the first time I'm actually being noticed by another creator, and I was like really nervous of talking to her and stuff like that. And so I actually asked someone else to ask her if she wanted to be in the server because I'm just such a little bitch. Anyways, but we grew closer and closer, and then I
Mhm.
started meeting other people like Libby. Uh, I talked to Nezzy on Twitter, but that would have been in like January. the server grows, we add more people in, and then it's I introduced myself to Libby. We met through like uh a uh oh, what is it called? One of Slimurs' Twitter posts, and I said, "Hey, I like your video." And at the time, Libby was kind of like okay. I have a lot of respect for Libby because she went from like zero to hero without like any help all on her own. Because I remember when I met her, she was like 30,000 subscribers riding off the fame of like 3 videos that blew up a year ago, like just shit posts here and there. And then like during the time I knew her, she fucking stepped up her A game, and I'm like, it was impressive to watch too. I'm glad I got to be a part of it. Yeah. So the core members would probably be me, Xena, originally me, Xena, Nezzy, and Libby, and then Trent, and then Xena introduced us to Trent. I introduced Libby to Nezzy by, I actually probably still have the art piece, by like making them collab. You can look it up. It's called Art Relay Race. It's really nice. By making them collab on like a little tease art I wanted to make for Xena.
Oh, that's cute.
I will find it and I will show it to you
Yeah, I
as
like
we
that.
continue. Oh yeah, I remember we were like sharing our little background things, and I was like, "Hey, Xena." The way Xena showed us hers, and it was the fucking art, and it was like adorable. We played a lot of games together. A lot of it was Toontown. We have art of that too. And most of it was chill. So this would have been around the time like the Lumi Star Bun stuff was going on, and now we go into Toby. Toby reached out to me. This was when she was 9 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
And she starts talking to me, and I'm like, hey yo, this girl's cool. And she's like, she was like, oh, I want you to be in a video of mine. And I'm like, hell yeah, I love helping out small creators. And she's gonna make me stills and everything. It was really nice. And so like I talked to Toby, I get to know her more. She tells me about I guess I'll just talk about it now because it's already public. It got leaked. She tells me about her sex worker life, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then after a week, I introduce her to the gang. I introduce her to Nezzy, Libby, ZZ, Trent, and they all fucking hit it off. It was great. But this was like March. So that's about the history of the Fruitcake Club. It started a year ago over the mutual hatred of Madame and talking shit about Madame, and then it like slowly evolved into like this friendship. But at the same time, it was also really toxic.
It
think
happens.
looking back on it, I'm starting to realize it was still the commentary community. Like there was still like that background incentive of like who to trust, who not to trust. Not that. No, that's the wrong way to put it.
It's drama. It's
Bandwagon.
commentary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's commentary,
eggshells.
like bandwagoning. A couple of that happened. There's like a lot of people in it. The server eventually grew to people like Ellis Mark was in it at one point. Nani was in. Actually, no, Nani was in it from the beginning, but she never participated. She never said anything. At one point, I bullied her to be like, "Hey, you should say something to Fruit Kid Club." One time, then Libby was just like alone in VC, and then Nani jumped in and say, "Hey, Toasty said I should be here more often," and then left. Oh, where was I? All right, so I introduced Toby to Ezzy, Libby, Trent. They all hit it off. And yeah, that's about the history. God, is there anything specific you want to know about the Fruitcake Club? Because I'm
don't worry, I
blanking
have a
right now.
list.
Oh, okay. Shove it at me.
So, was the Fruitcake Club like just like a server group, or was it like close friends, longtime friends, like having like that?
It was a server. It was a private server where of YouTubers and artists. Hopeless Peaches was in it at one point. Oh yeah, she was a blast. I want to tell a specific story about that one, but it's a bit inappropriate, so I'm gonna hold off for now.
Oh. Don't worry, I'm over 18, so if you prefer specific parts to be cut
actually,
from
no,
the video,
okay.
I can cut them.
Nah, that's fine. It's not like at pad. It's just like so. I was alone in VC once. I didn't know I was in VC. I hear a badum. Then there's fucking Peaches, And she starts being like, hey, what are you, a loser? Being alone in here in VC? And I'm like, I'm surprised because at the time, I was fucking masturbating.
Oh my
She
gosh.
didn't hear it. She didn't know it. But, like, I immediately stopped everything, and she was like, "Oh, what are you doing in here alone? Were you a loser? You little dork? You little fucking like pussy ass bitch?" And I'm like, "Peaches," uh, and like she goes on with that for a while, and I'm like, "Peaches, listen. You are you in here for a reason? Are you in here to chat? Because I was in the middle of something, all right? And I want to know if I should like continue doing that something or like just stop doing it and then like have a talk with you." And she was like, "Oh, what were you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, it's something all men do. I was like in the middle of fucking jacking off.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to continue that, thank you." And she left.
Oh.
And then she came back just fucking laughing her ass off. It was great.
Hey, it's internet. Stuff happens.
Yeah, shit like that happens. A lot of the stories I can tell. What was the original question? I think I got sidetracked.
Was the Fruitcake Club just a server group, or was it made of like close friends?
Um, we had a set of rules. One of the rules was if you had an issue with another person in the Fruitcake Club, you weren't like allowed in unless if you like dealt with it. So like I would have to like check with everyone, being like, "Hey, you don't have any beef with this person, right?"
Mm-hmm.
That would cause some drama sometimes because people would like take that as if like, "Oh, you're blacklisting me. How could you do this?" And I'm like, "No, you just have an issue with another person. I just really want to avoid conflict." Like even if I would have an issue with another person, I may do with them. I'd be like, I can't invite you just yet because like now you have to work this out with other people."
Mm-hmm.
That
It's
was
like you
like the
want to
general.
keep things conflict free.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so that's yeah, it was a group of YouTubers. Like we would invite. I think the highest profile people in there was Ellis, Mark, Nani, and Just a Robot, but they didn't really talk all that much. Oh yeah, Fuchsia Butter. I don't know if you know them. They're also part of the FCK.
Yep.
Um, those are the core members: me, ZZ, Nezzy, Trent, Toby, and Lucy. So it's 7 people. Anything else you want to know?
Regarding the Fruitcake Club, so there's gonna be a lot of questions because yeah,
Hmm.
you dig one molehill and out comes another. Um,
Yeah.
so what happened with the Fruitcake Club
Drama.
drama?
So it fell apart. I talk about the dynamics of the people in there. I was kind of the glue to it all because I was kind of the reason everyone knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
I
were the
was,
friend of the friend that brought all the other
yeah,
friends.
yeah, I was the friend of the friend that got all the friends together, got all the friends to collab, and got all the friends to like be Gucci. Um, so the Ben the Looney situation kicks off.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be a part of the FCK.
Yes.
So I'm gonna start this from the start. I was getting DMs. I'm not gonna name them, but from 3 people are being like, because Ben the Looney posted publicly in the FCK of like, "Oh my god, this furry is calling me out on Twitter. He's such a fucking loser," or something like that. I don't remember. Probably not that aggressively, but it's Ben. And they were like, "Hey, we are suspecting that the Ben's drawing child porn. Like, we hear these getting canceled. What is that all about?" And I'm like, I'll name one of them actually. Slimurs came up to me first about it, and then other
Mm-hmm.
people did. And she was like, "Yo, what's this Ben like drama thing? What's up with that?" And I'm like, "Oh, I think some like furry simp is like calling him out on like drawing CP when he's not." And then so I stupidly make a tweet being like, "Hey guys, I support Ben." And then I'm like, "Wait, maybe I should like research before I send a tweet like that." So I delete my tweet and I dig. And then I find picture of OKKO eating ass, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh no." Upon other things that were like a little bit sketchy, but that was like the main one. That was the one I decided I wanted to focus on and be like,
Mm-hmm.
"All right." So I approached him publicly, and the reason I in the server, and the reason I do this is because I didn't want to explain to everyone, "Oh, everything's chill. This is how it went." I didn't want to like go behind, like make it look like I was going behind his back telling people about this, even though they all asked and they asked me to like investigate this. So I
Mm-hmm.
just decided to do it publicly so people could see his defense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was in. It is worth to note I was in call with Toby at the time. So I'm like, "Hey Ben, uh, this is a bit of a sketchy drawing. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe you didn't mean to draw it like this. But my guy, what's up? And then he defends it. I kind of like throw back and forth on him and be like, hey, like that's a bit sketchy, blah blah blah. Toby gets involved. Fucking screams at the guy. It makes a huge mess. I tell her to calm down. That didn't work. Made her angrier. You know, it's Toby's personality.
Mm-hmm.
Libby gets involved, starts talking to him more calmly, obviously, and then Nezzy gets involved. And Nezzy somehow is the one to actually convince Ben to like take it down and be like, all right. And then it was a bit of a mess, but like it got sorted out and it all got deleted. Blah blah blah. Another thing worth noting about the Fruitcake Club, there was a guy we would call the admin because he would just fucking change his name all the time. We just never knew what to call him.
Mm-hmm.
He was basically like neutral third party in case drama ever happened and like there needed to be a decision made about the server.
Mm-hmm.
Like we would like he would be in charge of that. So like none of the actual YouTubers had power. Well, the only people with power would be me and Slimurs, because if me and Slimurs both agreed we didn't like someone or we thought someone was a problem, we would kick them out. For example, Lumi Starbun. Fun fact, Lumi Starbun used to be in the Fruitcake Club. Then we saw she doxed someone, and me and Slimmers were like, do you really think she would notice if we just like kind of silently kicked her out? I don't think she would like care. And we're like, yeah, let's just do that. Where was I? Oh yeah, so we had that conversation with Ben. I think that was like June. Yeah, that would have been June. And then I'm like, and then I'm like, and like nothing really happens from that point on. He leaves the server, he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Then now we're in July. A lot of people start DMing me being like, Ben is drawing child porn. What the fuck? And I'm like, right, Ben, what'd you do? Let's look at this. I'll go look at his Twitter. The fucking OKKO picture is now colored and reposted. And I kind of lose my shit. All right?
Mm-hmm.
There is a picture Slimmers drew that basically summarizes our reactions. Because I deleted my Twitter because I fucking hate that place, and I did it during a time when no one was really paying attention to me. I'd be like, all right, yeah, I'm ready to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just delete that tweet. So if I find that specific picture, I'll show it to you. But I lose my shit. Block Ben, blah, blah, blah. I say, yo, what the fuck? We do all this. Then in the background, Trent DMs me. A bunch of shit happens. I basically tell him, hey, listen, I don't agree with what Ben did. I think it's sketchy. I think it's shady that he did this, that people... And then I thought it was sketchy and shady that he would like... was disrespectful, basically. And I've told this to his face. I've talked to Ben about what happened, and I apologized for like the outcome of what happened, because honestly, I think like calling him a pedophile was like really way too far.
Sorry, give me 1 second. Yeah.
Okay.
왜 그래? 아이고.
Pee poo poo.
I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Where was I? What was the last thing I said? I have like
talked
fish
with...
brain.
Next
I
thing
lost.
you knew, Ben had colored the OKKO drawing.
Yeah, and then I lost my shit and was like, yo, what the fuck? I still stand by what I said in the original post that I tweeted, because I didn't like write it out of impulse. I actually took my time to think about what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But you should find a screenshot of it somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's been screenshot 1,000 times, including that entire scenario in which I was like on the defense, basically being like, so yeah, anyways, so, and obviously Ben has friends, so they all see that and they're like, yo, what the fuck? And so this coalition starts where it's like Slimurs is making tweets. Libby's making tweets. Toby doesn't. Toby actually joins in late, but she's like, "Yo, don't worry, bro. I got your back." And then like a couple of days later, she starts making tweets.
Mm-hmm.
We get Lucy involved after Toby. Like everyone's involved. It's a fucking straight up coalition.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone hates him, and everyone's like pissed. Now, I want to make something very clear because it gets brought up a lot when the situation's brought up.
Of course.
I don't really care about drawn underage characters. I don't really care. It doesn't affect me. It's nothing. I didn't care back then. I kind of care even less now because I had like a 6-hour conversation with Mineral Garbage and she changed my mind on several topics.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I was angry about was the fact that he reposted it after we were like, "Hey, could you not? Hey, like this puts us at risk. Could you not do this?" That's what I was actually angry about. I was angry that he would like just disrespect us in that way, or like, I thought it was just shady as fuck.
Of course, you gave advice to a friend, and then they went ahead and posted against it in a fit of spite. It's reasonable to feel upset about that.
Yeah. I think we overreacted. Like, we definitely overreacted. So I changed my Twitter banner to "haha, no CP allowed," and then just start being like, and then they dig through my Twitter likes, and I still think this claim is insane, but I can kind of see where they're coming from, and they start calling me a hypocrite for, and over the span of 9 months, liking 4 posts that I guess you could group into the camp of like what Ben was producing.
Mm-hmm.
One was blatant. They were all Fuda because I like Fuda.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Oh, you're a hypocrite, blah blah blah. You're a hypocrite." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a little bit hypocritical, but it doesn't matter that much." One, I didn't know because I thought all of them were OCs except for the My Hero Academia one. Yeah, I straight up like My Hero Academia porn. Don't worry, this will come up later.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah,
has their fetishes.
I mean, I just like chicks with dicks, you know. That's my thing. Anyways,
Everyone has their preference.
where was I? And they start calling me a hypocrite, blah 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 blah. So Toby gets involved in that. She kind of gets involved on my behalf. Well, not really. Like she gets involved for her own reasons, but she's also like there to have my back. We make a group chat. I don't have access to this group chat anymore, but I do have access to all the other group chats.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case, you know, like I would have deleted my old Discord account by now, but like given that a lot of people hate me and I'm trying to like distance myself from that community, I kind of have it up just in case I need to go and find my own screenshots and be like, yeah. And with that, I have all the group chats. So, or all the group chats I can have. It's like 20-ish group chats or something.
Oh, wow.
We made a lot of group chats. All of them for different reasons. Big one was one like I think it's called Animal Crossing Sucks. That's where all like that's where all the 7 people kind of hung out.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets involved. And then Trent, I'm not going to show screenshots now, but I'd be willing to if Trent is okay with it.
We have interviewed Trent. I can ask Junkie to ask Trent if he's okay with screenshots of those conversations being shown.
I could probably just ask Trent myself, but yeah, sure. So I have like a very long conversation with Trent, basically being like, "Hey, Ben Maloney did something shady. I'm okay if you're okay being friends with him, stuff like that." And Trent, at the end of the day, just kind of blocks me, shit like that. Toby, I forgot what the main reason she did this was. It was stupid as fuck, and she shouldn't have done it.
Mm-hmm.
Just period. Even at the time, I still think she shouldn't have done it.
Mm-hmm.
So Toby goes on her sex worker account, not like another alt account, not a fake account, on her sex worker account, and rates Trent and blackmails him.
Mm-hmm.
And then as a response, I know you've interviewed Mineral Garbage, right?
Sorry, repeat that name again?
Mineral Garbage? You are friends with her on we do have her as a mutual friend.
Mineral. Oh yes, Minty. Yes.
Um,
I didn't recognize
so
her
do
name
you
before.
know Trent's perspective of that story? Of what his reaction was of the blackmail? You know,
I did
perspective.
not interview Trent. Junkie interviewed Trent, but
Okay.
from what I do know of the situation, I may not be the clearest on this because I haven't seen the interview, only from what Junkie has told me so far. Trent expressed that Toby was extremely frustrated with him because he was defending Ben's actions and found that the only way to get him to stop somehow was to blackmail him. And he felt very threatened by that fact because it was just so
That
out of the
is, to
blue.
put it very lightly. Frustrated is a pretty light way to put it.
Gotcha,
At
gotcha.
least in my conversation with Trent, I was trying to be as gentle as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, I respect your decision to be friends with him. I know you've been friends with him for ages, so it's fine. Um, from what Mineral Garbage has told me, um, and I hope I am not releasing anything sensitive or private, so I'm gonna dull down the story. Trent was in a call and came to them crying, and Mineral Garbage took it from there, took the screenshot, posted publicly, called
Yep.
Toby out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I will tell you the reaction of the Fruitcake Club for this one, because this was talked about quite a bit. Everyone denounced Trent.
Yep.
Everyone denounced Trent. And I'm looking back at it now, even me. And I think I kind of regret doing that because I was in the heat of the moment and I was like, oh yeah, fuck Trent. How could he do this to us? He knew. He knew he's doing this on purpose. I was kind of half on board, half not. But even I kind of was on it. Everyone thought Trent was the bad guy. Everyone was being like, what, Trent, what a fucking bitch. How could he do this to us? Blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, except for, I guess, Xena. Xena at the same time, she never was involved in any of this.
Uh-huh.
Thankfully so. So everyone denounced Trent. Oh, everyone was on Toby's side. I remember telling Toby after she showed me the screenshot of like Trent, of her blackmailing Trent. I was like, Toby, this is the fucking stupidest thing I have ever seen you do, and I have seen you do a lot of stupid things. And that was the end of it. And then she showed me that, oh, Trent posted publicly, blah blah blah, and I'm like, kind of secretly was like, you had this coming, but at the same time, or outwardly, I was like, yeah, fuck Trent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, then things started to cool down. It basically for most of the fight was me and Obi attacking Ben and like everyone coming at us being like, y'all are hypocrites, blah 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 blah. And then, what do you call it? How do you say it? And then everyone else kind of like pussied out, which like understandably so. It was a very tense situation. Libby deleted her tweets. Slimurs deleted her tweets. I don't really blame them for that. That's understandable. And then like things cool down a bit. I have a 6 hour conversation with Mineral where she like kind of lightens my head.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like during this period, during this Ben period, I kind of like had this moment where I was like, man, I really don't want to be a part of this community anymore. This was so awful. We get in drama all the time. Everyone's just starting drama all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I basically left. And the way I left was kind of, didn't really respond to like, because, you know, there's always like some sort of issue, some sort of wave of drama. Just didn't respond to what was happening at the time because everyone was kind of fed up with everyone. Everyone was kind of like pissy. So basically I was like, yeah, I'm just going to let people leave me. And then I'm going to leave. That was basically it. The only people from that place I talk to now is like Lucy and Zizi. Rest I've kind of like left to the wind. So yeah. Anyways, what other questions did you have? Was that satisfactory to you? Was that like enough information?
Well, that gives me a start. It actually gives me more questions.
All right, understandable. Let's go.
It happens. It happens. All right. So to go off the entire thing with the Ben, the Looney drama, and the Trent situation, how would you define child porn?
Right now or back then?
Give me both definitions so we can see like how your mind shifted.
Right. So back then, I defined it as any underage character that is that you could visibly determine without knowing anything about the character that it is underage. Or like being just any underage like character.
So
Uh,
any type of real life or drawn, as
yeah,
long as it was underage looking. That was the line.
underage looking or canonly
Mm-hmm.
underage. And now my opinion of it is uh art or porn in not real life if they're underage. So underage, yeah, don't masturbate to fucking 17-year-olds if you're 40, obviously. But now my definition for drawn, at least, is if the art is trying trying to pair the ideas of child and sexy, like it is obvious that it wants you to view child as sexy, and it's not just an art style. It's not just like arguable it could be an adult. No, it's like they're in a situation where only a child would really be in. Like everything just screams this is a child, and it starts sexualizing the child and its age, like sexualizing the fact that it is a child.
Mm-hmm.
I would consider that child porn. If it sexualizes the fact that it's a child and it's a child, it looks like a child, and it's in an area like it's like a school or a playground where children would be, and it's like sexualizing the fact that they are a child, and that is child porn in my definition, and that is fucked up.
So anything that is the sexualization of a child or a
Mhm.
representation of a child that is sexualized.
Sexualized
Mm-hmm.
as a child, so like
Gotcha.
not just like, oh, look at this. It's technically underage. It's that this character is technically underage, but you can't really tell. And it's like appealing to completely different fetishes, like
Mm-hmm.
Fuda, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like if it's appealing to the fetish that pedophilia,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think that's fucked up.
And does that apply to both drawn and real porn?
Real porn, 18 under, don't do it.
Gotcha. And what about in the context of drawn porn?
Actually, let me rephrase this.
Mm-hmm.
If it's of a real person, if it's underage, no. If
Uh-huh.
it's under 18, no. If it's of a fictional person or a fantasy, um, don't sexualize age. Don't appeal. Like, you know how cuties, it's
Mm-hmm.
not technically porn, but it's appealing to the idea that these are kids,
It's
and
still
like
explicit content.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, that's basically what I'm referring to. It's appealing to the idea of like this is a child. You're looking at a child, and it's supposed to be sexy. That's what I'm considering child porn right now.
Gotcha. What would you say is the illegal line for child porn, in your
Uh,
opinion?
Legal line
Yeah, so
for real people.
yes, for real people, so let's put that in the context of Ben DeLuny. Would you consider Ben DeLuny for what he draw, would you call him a pedophile?
Back like when it was happening, yeah. Right now, no, not really.
Gotcha.
Like after hearing Mineral explain some of it to me,
Mm-hmm.
explain to the fact that he doesn't actually view it as real. He views it as like a fictional character that doesn't exist at all. Like that doesn't really apply to our reality.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that kind of makes sense of okay, that makes sense. Um, for reality, if you can legally consent to being in a porno, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Gotcha. So, Ben DeLuny, in your opinion, not a pedophile.
Yeah, as it stands right now, I do not think Ben Looney is a pedophile.
Gotcha. Would you say that drawing child explicit content is just amoral rather than illegal?
I think it's weird.
Gotcha.
I don't consume it. I don't consume it.
Yeah.
I don't draw it. I don't except for Ben. I talked to him. I haven't talked to him in ages. So, except for Ben's probably the only person I know that draws it, and even then, I don't really talk to him.
Yeah, so from your standpoint, it's just something weird you don't really get, you kind of get, but also at the same time, it's
Hmm.
like, huh,
Like, it's
why?
not something I should be involved in.
Gotcha. Understandable, understandable. Okay, so that clears that question off my list. And that question. Oh, so speaking of porn, there's been a lot of concerns. I've noticed this in a couple videos. One by Only Jesp and also
Ah,
Akumu.
yes, just been Akumu, those
Mm-hmm.
videos. I was prepared for this question. What do you want to know?
Well,
Actually, first off, it is true. I have not
Mhm.
groomed any children
All right.
or had any sexual relationship with anyone 2 years younger than me.
Gotcha, gotcha. To clear the record, you're currently 19.
I'm currently 19.
Currently 19, going on 20. All right. So from what I've just seen of the Jeff script, because as
Yeah, I'm not watching
much
that video either. I'm not watching that video either. I read it too.
I can read fast. I
Yeah.
don't need to listen when I can read faster than a video. So I looked at the
Yeah.
script, read through, looked at the screenshots. Those were the main points that I was paying attention to. Skimmed very briefly over Akumu's video that, yeah, Akumu. But main concerns addressing, pee pee poo poo porn.
PP. Oh, the PP puddle?
Yes, the pee pee
That
puddle
was
porn
meme.
server.
That was a meme. It's not a server. It was a chat that was made for memes.
Gotcha. Like in the thought, like, hey, look at this funny porn picture.
More in the line of you've seen the screenshots, right? You saw what they showed.
Yes.
It was like I think one of them in the screenshots. It was like a video. What was it? Postal 2 footage. Fucking weird role play, and not like serious ERP role play. Kind of like joking. I pee pants role play. It was just a place to fuck around. I think there wasn't really any pornography in there. Like I labeled it as NSFW just in case.
Mm-hmm. Um, you mentioned that it was labeled NSFW, but there are mentions and screenshots that somehow underage users did get into the server's chat and in voice chats when.
Yeah. Wait, voice chats.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, I'm gonna explain that one real quick.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the image I posted was not porn.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. I will show it to you. The artist who drew it doesn't consider it to be not safe for work. Her art Twitter isn't not safe for work, and what it was just underage, not underage, aged up, pick art of the Hat in Time guys, basically just aged up art of the Hat in Time characters, and the joke was because the joke is cut off. The joke was I was going to like this post and then like a post being like no see like I hate people who draw underage characters and then have that right below it as like an irony fuck you because it's aged up and like some people like Akumu don't consider aged up art to also be CP. So there's that. The people in that chat, most of them were overaged, and if they weren't, they were 17 turning 18.
Mm-hmm. Then would you classify, even though these are teenagers going into adulthood, that explicit images of teenagers is not child porn or child explicit material?
Run that by me again? Are you saying that people who draw themselves
Oh no.
Okay.
I mean, when it comes to like explicit images of like teenagers, like going 17 going on to 18 or 16 going into 18, they're mature, they fit into like that kind of age of consent byline. Would you consider that like less of an offense than like 5-year-old OKKO or whatever that
Yeah,
age group is?
because like at that point it like if I wouldn't really like say anything about it because again it's not my place. But if it's like some sort of like a hentai of like a 40-year-old ugly bastard like creeping on or like groping a 17-year-old who like audibly says they're 17, talks about they're going to school, I'd be like, that's kind of fucky wucky, but like it's someone else's problem. No one's getting hurt. It's hentai, whatever. This shit's weird. Yeah, I like again. I think it's weird. I think lolly is weird. I don't like it. I think Shota is weird. I don't like that either. But it's not my problem, so I'm just not gonna say anything about it.
Of course, of course. And following that conversation, there's Jess made this a point in her video that you were using your age somehow as an excuse for all those shenanigans that had happened in the server.
Yeah, I think that was a bit stupid of me. I'm not gonna lie. Just being like, I'm 18. I'm still a teenager, like as an excuse for like just doing stupid things. Yeah, that's a bit cringe. Um, yeah, I did a couple of stupid things, but like at the end of the day, no one was hurt. No one was. Nothing bad happened. Just like did some stupid shit. I can't think of any specific examples right now, but I'm pretty sure I have done something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And like anything that involves to age, like I said, I haven't had any sexual or romantic relationship with anyone who was anyone beyond 17. But
Mm-hmm.
like at the time I'm 18, I'm 19, so I wouldn't consider that to be that weird. 18-year-old, 18-year-old, 17-year-old, I wouldn't really consider that to be that obtesquely pedophilic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because that's like the difference between a junior in high school and a senior.
Of
That shit
course.
happens all the time. So yeah,
Would you think that some of the like accusations were just exaggerated?
I would think a lot of the accusations on me are exaggerated, and some of them bullshit. That's why I haven't really responded to them because, well, one, I don't have the energy, and two, I don't want to be a part of that cycle. I
Of
feel like
course.
I dodged a major bullet by going to Ben, being like, by going to Mineral, talking to her, like getting me out just before all the Toby videos came out. Because if I still stuck by Toby, if I still was like, fucking, I'm gonna stick with this community, I would have been on the fucking blasted alongside with her. And I still kind of was. I still kind of was. Um, which is like fair. Which
Mm-hmm.
is yeah, what I did was a little bit hypocritical, but was I wouldn't say it's that hypocritical since one, I didn't do it continuously. It's 4 likes over the course of 9 months, spread out evenly with months in between. And two, I didn't fucking know. So it was like, yeah, it's hypocritical to make that point while you have those in your like feed, but at the same time, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just kind of brushed into those communities. I was like, hey, this looks cool. I like it. Yeah, you vibe.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
Gotcha.
any other questions or relating to my controversies? Oh, one thing I want to mention. One thing I want to
Of
mention. I have
course.
a video. I have a video of this. Me and Slimurs not had any sexual relationship
Was
at
there
all.
speculation between you guys having a sexual relationship?
I fucked up when Akumu and his gang. I'm going to talk
Ah.
about. Actually, I want to talk about that too.
Mm-hmm.
Like that experience when Akumu. I fucked up and I was like, me and Slimmers talk about NSFW topics sometime back
Mm-hmm.
in like the early days. Those specific topics I was referring to is sometimes we talk about anatomy and how boobs look weird,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes at one point we talked about our own sexual traumas and how those have affected us.
Of course.
That's basically it. I never creeped on her. Here's the video of me saying, "Hey, Slimmers, we've never had a sexual relationship," and she says, "Yep." So that never happened. I did fuck up in the Akumu interview. I don't know if it was brought up. I think it was, where I was like, "Hey, da 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 da." Um, another. I'm gonna like go. I'm gonna continue talking about this.
No problem.
What do I bring up next? So you know who Foxton is, right? What do you know about Foxton? I just like to like pick your brain a little bit.
Foxton. That's an old name. I can't remember. I can't place my tongue on it correctly, but I'm aware
Think
of the name.
I have been heard. I've heard. I don't know if it's
Foxton.
true, but
Foxton.
if it was, it kind of humor me. It would humor me a bit if it was true. I heard that Akumu and Foxton are dating now. I don't know if it's true. Just a rumor. If it was true, that'd be it. I'd find that funny.
Fox and
So
Foxton.
yeah, Fox and Foxton.
I haven't heard of them in a long time, so I can't be clear on any of the up and coming news or gossip. I'm actually not a person that's really in tune with the commentary community or drama commentary community. I literally just get paid to do work
This.
and quality check. Yeah, and because my boss has biases, and I dragged him out of a previous situation. I will preface this now.
Hmm.
Junkie had previously been in contact with Madlips to create a collab video about the Omnia and Kai situation.
Hmm.
That's who Madlips has been referring to throughout, I think, like Twitter and YouTube community posts
I
about
have
the
not
collab?
been in touch with any of that. It's funny. I'm in touch with like all of these fucking commentary people. I'm in the community, but I don't watch any of the fucking videos, even the ones
Yeah.
I'm in. I
um.
know Junkie was in one of my videos at some point. That was
Yes.
ages ago. Ah, he's such a champ. I love him.
Yeah. Honestly, the only reason why we reached out to you was because of all the other dramas that Toby has been in. We were looking over because, hey, it's a
Named them.
lot of
Okay.
internet content and
Yeah.
no one
Yeah.
else was
Please,
looking into it.
please name them because I have been with Toby through most of her dramas.
So we're
Um.
starting off with the Toby Yaoi drama. Well, one of them, that's what I've been digging into. I did the
Yeah.
Yep,
Hmm.
I did the interview with Minty regarding most of that.
Um. Hold on. Someone messaged me. I have to tell them I'll message you later. Okay. Anyways, has the name Hopeless Peaches come up?
Yes.
Okay.
We have tagged a couple of people that have been popping through the drama as mainly Twitter war people.
Okay. So, like, is it in her as for her name? Is it only like Twitter stuff?
We've only had her documented under Twitter stuff. We don't have any YouTube videos attached. Most of that apparently has been going on in this vague tweet war. That's what we've been made aware of.
Yeah. Hopeless Peaches likes to subtweet a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But no Discord stuff.
Nothing that we're aware of yet, unless it was brought up in one of the other drama videos, then we're not too clear about it. We were also denied an interview from Hopeless Peaches, so we couldn't get any clarification on her situation.
Yeah, that makes sense. There was an incident in
Mm-hmm.
June, and that's all I'm going to tell you.
All right.
In case it gets brought up again, I'm just going to tell you there was a very big incident in June.
And that might have been the stressor to the entire
This
situation.
that incident in June is the reason Obi and Peaches don't talk.
Oh.
On you that. I'm not going to give you any details because one, it's very personal. There's so much
Of
private
course.
information involved in it. It's such a fucky situation. But if actually, I'm not going to say anything more.
Oh, of
But
course.
that's all there is
That's
to say.
if you don't feel it's your story to tell, if you don't want to infringe on Hopeless
And it is
Peaches'
my story to
conversation.
tell. It's just, oh dear God, if it was public, it would be a fucking mess. It would be an awful thing to deal with.
Of course, I'm not gonna pressure you to say anything about it.
Anyways, what other dramas do you want to know? Do you want to know more about the Shane Dawson thing?
Yes, but I'd actually like to stick on the yaoi topic right now since you know about it.
I don't know too much. I just know she recommended me some yaoi. I rolled
Mm-hmm.
through them. I'm like, all right, it's yaoi, whatever. Um, I what am I thinking? Most of the stuff relating to yaoi and her recommending sketchy yaoi artists, as I would
Mm-hmm.
say, was unheard of to me since I didn't really we didn't share that hobby, so I didn't really know that's what she was recommending. That was news to me when General brought it up.
Were you
Uh,
aware that she was recommending yaoi like to other people and on Twitter?
uh, the only person I knew she recommended yaoi to was me and Nezzy, and
Mm-hmm.
me and Nezzy are both adults, so it's fine.
Of course. Would you say that Toby's audience is made up of mostly adults?
I could not tell you.
Mm.
I honestly could not tell you.
Of course, of course. It just general questions. We're just trying to figure out a
Hmm.
bit of a full story because hey, accusations are thrown out. We need to find out, hey, do these have any basis? What's going on? Etc.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's the Yoi situation. We were just mostly wondering because Minty brought up that she was recommending some rather beyond explicit yaoi to her fan base, which apparently has specifically some underage kids in it, and they've notably made it clear to her. But that's just one thing we're addressing. That's what I just wanted to get that out of the way. Uh, Another drama that we were looking into was mostly the the Trent and Bendaluni drama, so we went
Hmm.
over that.
That's funny. I think it's a little bit funny.
Mm-hmm.
They call it the Trent and the Trent Toby Ben the Looney drama when I was the one who started it. I
Oh
think
yeah,
that's funny. I find that endlessly hilarious.
it's mostly because she was the. It was
Most prominent.
Most
Yes.
prominent, and it was the high escalation that occurred starting with
Oh my
the
god.
buddy video.
It's buddy video. I remember she vented to. We'll share this because it's
Mm-hmm.
not. It's something. Either Toby hasn't ever addressed to me, and I think it was kind of fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So in conversation with me, Toby told me that she wanted to see Trent cornered or something kind of fucked up.
Uh-huh.
I said, "Hey, don't say that. That makes me really uncomfortable." Um, then she went on this long spiel about like, "Oh my god, I couldn't care anymore right now. What you think? My dog is dying. How could you do this to me?" And I'm like, it's a high tense situation. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave
Mm-hmm.
you alone. I'm gonna. I hope your dog's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, later on, um, Toby and Nezzy in a voice chat with me both make fun of me for telling Toby I was uncomfortable with her calling. I'll call him my friend. Calling my friend, saying that she wants to see my friend Trent cornered, like feeling helpless. Both made fun of me for that. I was like, really? You're making fun of me because my boundaries were broken and like Toby's dog was just happened to be dying at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember telling her I was like happy she got it out because she was gonna make the whole ass video on it, and then that happened. Um. Anyways, uh, I that's like a small grudge I hold. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really matter, but like it kind of is subsequent to the way that group kind of treated me,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of another reason why I wanted to distance myself from them.
Yeah,
Like
that sounds really
they would
toxic.
um they would break my boundaries a lot, and then, like whenever I would say, "Hey, not really comfortable with this," they'd either just straight up ignore me or be like, "Haha," or like make fun of me. I'm not gonna bring up any more situations.
Mm-hmm.
There's multiple because I don't really want to give them any shit for it. I don't
I
really want
understand.
it to be involved.
Yeah.
Um, so about the buddy video,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she should have made it a video, or like at the very least have it unlisted because like
Mm-hmm.
it looked as if it would just be like a family video for the sake of remembering.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back on it now, it just straight up looks like a publicity stunt.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a publicity stunt. It's so sketchy, but at the time I was like, I guess it's good you got it out.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been like an unlisted video to share with friends and family. That's what it looked like. I'll give her criticism for that. Of like
Mm-hmm.
that was a bit of a stupid move.
Regarding
Um,
the, I'm sorry to cut you off, but regarding the buddy video, you're aware that she mentioned that she was no longer making the video on Trent and Ben the Looney, but still addressed them as such.
yeah, she said she was done with it after the Lucy video. This was like August, so like at the time I was trying to like tell Lucy, yeah, I don't really want to do this video anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of burnt out. And then Toby, like Lucy pressured me, and then Toby was like, hey, nah. He said no. So
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah. So like we kind of just like dropped our videos.
Yeah, that's
I
definitely
still might make
understandable.
a video on it, but like given that I'm talking to you right now and I'm guessing this entirety of this conversation is going to be released to the public and people are going to watch it, like they'll understand that one, no, this didn't come out of nowhere. I actually had a talk with him and tried to give him benefit of the doubt. Two, yeah, I fucked up sometimes, but
I
yeah.
don't know exactly if we're going to be giving the entire conversation into our video because
Oh,
to be
obviously
brutally
not. That would be
honest
too
to
long.
you, you are our 16th person to be interviewed in this entire
I would
drama.
assume.
It
Who's the first?
is. Oh, I think our first person we tried interviewing, I don't know the exact person because Junk did a majority of our interviews and he was multitasking, so he got like a
Hmm.
bunch of people done at the same time. I think our first
Hmm.
person I think he tried contacting the people he knew personally first. So he contacted I think probably like Jar, Harsh, and Manga first. And then went after everybody else, getting them down. Because there are a lot of people who actually were able to give us contacts with other people.
Hmm.
A lot of we were able to get a lot of our contacts with other people that were involved in the drama through people we already interviewed. For example, I think think it was Trent. He got us in contact with Ben the Looney, and then they were able to get us in contact with Minty because Minty is also Twitter got deleted at some time. So we
She
had
deleted her Twitter, or did it
I
get like
think it
taken down?
got taken down by Twitter for some dumb reason. Not too really clear on that, but we had to like track her down. Only thing she had available was an Instagram.
You
That was
wanna
she up to 2 weeks.
It's funny about Minty. You wanna know what's funny about Minty?
Sure.
Um, so during this whole fight, this whole coalition war, well, I'm gonna call it the coalition because I think that's a fancier name, and I'm tired of hearing, "Oh, it's the Toby Bend situation." I'm tired of that. We need to come up with better fucking names for our situations because we have so many of them. We want to make them memorable. We rocked this boat so goddamn hard. We made a whole ass situation out of it on YouTube. Anyways, so during the coalition, I before she had came to me and we talked, and she said, "Oh, I want to talk to Toby," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll try to get that happen." Before like all this shit happened, and I didn't recognize her like during the entire Twitter war. And then we are firing back on Twitter, and I'm like, I kind of calmed down with her. I'm like, "Hey, yo, um, uh, what's up? Hey, yo, what's up?" No, what was I to say? I've lost my point. I'm like, "Yo, what's up? You want to take this to Discord and like delete all of our tweets?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure." So we talked in Discord. I'm like, "Holy shit, it's you! What the fuck?" I kind of no wait. I recognized her because she changed her her Twitter profile back to what it was before, and I was like, "Wait, I know you. Wait, I know you." So yeah, that's how that conversation started. What was the original question? I got sidetracked.
Original question. I don't know either. We also sidetracked from that with contacts.
Oh yeah, we just have so much to talk about.
Yeah, it's a very big situation, but yeah, thanks for clarifying everything on the Yali situation.
I didn't clarify shit. I
Hey,
didn't know anything about it.
hey, you gave some
Anyways,
perspective. But yeah, tell me more about the Shane Dawson situation.
I knew she supported Shane Dawson,
Mm-hmm.
and I know she didn't actually know what he's done. I
Oh,
know it. Wait, do you have do you have like do you have counter evidence of this?
well, we've been having conversations with people, and even with Toby, that she's been a fan since his early 2000s work, which was where he was building his original fan base off of blackface. Though she
Hmm.
says online and in Twitter that in various conversations that she only started watching his more conspiracy video stuff and was only really a big fan when he started doing more of like the collaboration and like the documentary video series stuff. But she was aware of him back in the early 2000s as just like a classic YouTube creator.
We're talking 2000s, right? So like 2007.
2007 to 2008 to 2009, yes.
Let's do some math. So Toby's about 10-ish years older than me. So she
Mm-hmm.
would be 27-ish. So
Mm-hmm.
2007, that would be so 17 minus 3. She would have been about 14, 15, 16. I think I can give personally,
Mm-hmm.
I think it doesn't really matter all that much if she
Mm-hmm.
consumed that content
Oh
because
yeah,
it was Shane
that's
Dawson.
not the concern about the entire
That's the concern.
situation. The concern is the fact that even now, despite the accusations that have occurred, and despite his previous actions that Shane has not really owned up to, that she still supports him and various other creators with anti Semitic views, and she compares two separate situations and defends them at the same time. Those were the main concerns that I was made aware of throughout the analyzation of her controversies and supporting the controversies. We're still looking into that specific point, mainly because it wasn't that concerning of the drama itself. It was just a simple analysis that was given in the Omnia video, and then in Toby's video addressing my controversies.
So here's my perspective on that. Me and Toby have like
Mm-hmm.
argue. The way me and Toby argue, it's funny. We
Mm-hmm.
build each other's we build two straw men and we just attack those instead of attacking each other's points. So we're basically just venting to each other about like completely unrelated shit
Hey,
and
that's what
just
friends
like
do.
yeah. Um so and oftentimes we would talk when we would actually attack each other's points. We would talk about YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
I know another person she said she supports that, which I don't support, and I think is a shitty person, is Sniper Wolf. But
Uh-huh.
it's whatever. And I remember talking about Shane, and then I was like, I don't know anything about him, so I don't really have an opinion. She was like, "Oh my god, all these people hating on him." Like, it's just an out of context joke. So for all I knew that she knew is that it was just people. She thought that people are taking a joke out of context. I research it and I see, oh, this is a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then next time I come to her about this, she's like, I don't. My opinion's changed. I don't want to talk about this. And I was like, I guess she doesn't like him anymore. All right, let's just assume the best. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, so I think her opinion changed. She just never publicly addressed it. I don't know though. I just knew it was a sensitive topic from then on out. And I remember also like sending her like observation. I'm like, "Yo, did you just see
Mm-hmm.
Tatiana or whatever? What's
Mm-hmm.
the bitch who cries on the floor?" It had
Toddy.
be Tabi.
Tati. Yeah.
Tati.
T-A-T-I. You got it right the first time.
Yeah. Tati was like uploaded 37 fucking videos, and I'm like, "Yo, did you see this crazy shit?" She's like, "I don't want to talk about them. Don't never bring this up to me ever again." And I'm like, "I." So that's my perspective.
All right, all right. Were you in contact with Toby when the original Omnia DM situation was going down?
Me and Toby lost contact the same time I lost contact with everyone else, which would have been about August 10th ish. I gave her my phone
Gotcha.
number, but she never texted me. So,
It happens. Friendships come and go. Sometimes friends just need breaks.
I guess.
But the main concern with that was because I think it was sometime in August, Toby had made around a 5-minute video supporting Shane Dawson and making note of the PewDiePie commentary when he went on Fiverr, all that, and was noting how a lot of her her favorite YouTubers were coming under criticism, and she was projecting that, hey, they don't need to be coming under this criticism, it's invalid. She later deleted that video, but it was referenced several times in Kai Weiss's video and Omnia's video. That's the main concern there, because everyone was saying that it's quite hypocritical that as a BLM supporter and as an ally, she was protecting people who were infringing upon the voices of black creators, making fun of black voices, not, just not, being racist, etc., etc. Those were the main arguments and concerns. So I was just curious on what you knew about the situation, because hey, it's very actually an obscure part that while people do mention severely, they never seem to actually know about the entire situation.
I knew about her defending those people and then being a
Mm-hmm.
Black Lives Matter supporter. I'm just gonna chalk that up to her just like being a bit fucking stupid
Mm-hmm.
and just not knowing any better.
Would you say
Actually, I
that?
probably should say not knowing any better. That's probably a
Mm-hmm.
poor way to put it. Well,
More
would I say
just.
that?
Would you say that Toby's just like really impulsive?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. She's reckless as fuck. That is the thing I have always called
Mm-hmm.
her out on, and everything. She's impulsive and
Mm-hmm.
reckless, and
Has
it's caused lots of issues.
Has Toby ever taken advice from her friends, like noticing that she's reckless, or hey, she shouldn't say something about this?
I have to. I think so, but I can't think of any situation.
Oh.
I there was one where she yelled at one of my friends, Sister Zio, for
Mm-hmm.
I don't got for bringing Lumi Star Bun onto his stream.
Mm-hmm.
She yelled at him like, "Oh, you're taking advantage of Lumi,"
Mm-hmm.
even though Lumi fucking consented to being on there, but like whatever. Um, yelled at him in Twitter DMs, and I told her you should probably apologize to him. That was really stupid and reckless. Like, this is how you make enemies, Toby.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you make enemies. And I don't think Sister Zio took it too personally because they made a public statement being like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Like, no one was hurt. This is all consensual." Blah blah blah. And Toby, I don't think she ever apologized because I
Oh.
checked up on her a week later, and I was like, "Hey, did you do that?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to." And I don't think she ever did.
Now,
um.
speaking of apologies, and I'm sorry I keep cutting you off.
Mhm.
There has been a lot of conversations about Toby and the fact that she doesn't apologize. Even in her addressing my controversies video, it's been speculated that she's never actually said sorry, and if it was in a form of a I'm sorry, it was usually in regards to I'm sorry that other people felt offended that way, I'm sorry that people took my words out of the wrong context, and it was counted that she actually mentioned her BPD more than she ever apologized or felt remorse.
I have to think about a lot of personal situations. There are a lot of things I want her to apologize to me for, and I'm willing to forgive her on.
But has she?
Because the specific ones that come to mind, no. Has she apologized to anyone in the Fruitcake Club when she's fucked up? I don't. Nothing comes to mind because everyone in the Fruitcake Club kind of, I wouldn't say baby her, but they
Coddles.
kind, yeah, they kind of coddle her. I've only
Yep.
bet. I don't. I've only. And I'm only talking about what I've seen. They might have done this. They might have not have. Um, I think Libby might have actually called her out. That's the feeling I got by just like looking at like public discourse.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I was the only actual person who would call her out when she did something kind of fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, that, and I've never seen, in my personal opinion, never seen her apologize for like jack shit. I remember
Oh.
one point, where I actually fucking stood up for myself in a call
Mm-hmm.
where, so there is, do you remember, I don't know if you know about this, it was like a Keemstar thing, it's not related to our community, but it was still pretty big, when the whole YouTube bots were like, hey, do you want to be my friend kind of thing was going on?
Mm-hmm. Sort of.
So someone in that group of hackers came out to me,
Mm-hmm.
uh, was like, hey, this has been going down. I'm having a panic attack, blah, blah, blah. I want to talk to you about this. I want you to talk to someone about this. And I'm like, okay, I'm open ears. It was getting overwhelming for me, so I brought Toby in.
Mm-hmm.
Toby, I didn't tell her, hey, we're just here to listen. And she kind of blames me. She's like, oh, you never told me you were just here to listen. Blah, 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 blah. And she, at some point, yells at the guy and being like, oh, you should call the police. You're just looking for attention, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, being like, Toby, like, no, this is, like, you don't understand. Just please listen. And she left. One thing Toby would do a lot, which is kind of why I still think we're on good terms because she hasn't done it yet, is
Mm-hmm.
when she was like mad over a small thing, she would unfollow you on Twitter and then immediately like unfriend you,
Mm-hmm.
which was like yeah, it was an anxiety inducing thing, but I got used to it after it happened so many times. Where I'm like, okay, she'll just come around eventually. I still think that was like pretty toxic. I think I've called her out. That was one thing I'm pretty sure I've talked to her about, like, you need to stop doing this. Like, or I probably was like, I'm gonna do it soon, and then I kind of was like, yeah, fuck this group, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Beforehand. Um,
Yeah, that's definitely understandable.
so relating to this,
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of a call, Toby teases me for this. She's like, oh, it's just like when that one's like kind of, it's like, oh, she's like, you know, like that one guy who was like attention seeking, blah blah. I'm like, Toby, no, stop that. No, I do not want to talk about this at all. Like, no, you're no. I just like basically put my foot down and be like, no. And she leaves the call, does that whole thing, and this actually might be a point where she apologized.
Oh.
Maybe. I want to go look on my other account, but at the same time, that account gives me so much fuck. I'm
Oh
gonna
no!
fuck.
Don't do it
Actually,
if
yeah.
it's gonna bring anxiety. I don't want to. Like, I
Uh,
don't want you
and
to
then
feel anything
and then
horrible about having to do this.
and then during that call, someone was like, "Oh wow, Toast, do you really know how to make her mad?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, fucking sorry, I stood up for myself when my boundaries were broken. Okay."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
It's good to stand up for yourself, especially if your friends are trying to peer pressure you or make you feel as if your thoughts aren't valid.
I don't think they ever peer pressured me. It was mostly just them like saying something pretty fucking like either
Mm-hmm.
degrading or mean, and then me being like, all right. So yeah. Um in regards to what in regards to what the Shane Dawson thing,
Mm-hmm.
one thing I will give her shit for,
Mm-hmm.
which I haven't yet because I haven't talked to her, but if I do, I will. Is that when I was talking to Shannon and she told me that Toby yelled at Shannon for when she was in contact with Shannon for making a Shane Dawson attack video, which
Mm-hmm.
I thought was just stupid. And the actual, if anything, she should be called out for that. I think the Shane Dawson thing is kind of dumb, in my personal opinion.
Of course, we all have our opinions.
Anything else you want to know?
So that covers the Shane Dawson. We went over Ben the Looney. Oh, so. Toby has used this this statement, and I just wanted to pick your brain about it. If you feel like that's just her making an excuse, or if that's just like how her mindset is, because some people just have that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
She's been mentioning that because the human brain does not fully mature in the frontal cortex and the frontal lobe until you are 25, you should not be held accountable for any of your actions until you are
Wait,
that age.
wait. She said that?
Yes.
Like she, like legally, like that's in that should be a law.
No, but she said that in the context that, hey, people make impulsive decisions and they shouldn't have to be held accountable until they're 25 because, hey, you don't fully mature your brain and it's that impulsive complex that builds in your frontal lobe.
Has she publicly like revealed her age?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, um, oh, oh no, Toby, why would? Oh no, why would you say that? So, no, I don't agree with that at all. But we do talk about autism quite a bit. She's made it clear she's autistic.
Yeah, Trent
And
mentioned that they met together, I think, in some type of. They met on Animal Crossing together, and they shared the fact that they were both autistic, and they became friends that way.
yeah, like Toby was introduced to her along with the rest of the Fruitcake Club, which would include Trent. So yeah, um, they did bond over that quite a bit. Anyways, I'm also autistic. I found out about that very recently, and I'm gonna like compare my experience with that so far. It's only been like 3 months, and Toby's experience with that, who's been autistic for 12 years, quite a long time. One, I'm pretty confident she's over 25. Two, in my experience, I came out to Toby when I found out. In my experience, the first couple of months when I just had no idea how to fucking deal with it, it's like this fact or the idea that I am autistic. So like from July, or no, from June, from when I found out to August, where I'm like, oh, I'm autistic. I don't really know how to handle this information. Um, I when I start coming public with it and telling people, I kind of just I started using it as an excuse because I'm like that would kind of make sense back then for me to do that, or like for me not to pick up on that social cue. But now that I've grown with it more and more, I'm like I start to notice what specifically it affects in my life. And I've only had 5 months, and I'm now starting to notice what my autism affects, what I've done out of like, and what it's caused me to do. And I've been able to improve myself, and it's only been 5 months. Toby's had 20 years, and or 20-ish years, and she's told me about her growth too, and like has encouraged me to be like, oh yeah, it's just about like finding patterns. You have to teach this to yourself manually. We all don't like have that installed. A lot of the group, I would say this is like part of the group think too, because a lot of what they would use this excuse for Toby too, and Trent, but more so Toby, were like, oh, he's just autistic. Oh, they're just autistic, so like it's okay if they do that. I'm gonna personally put a bit of the blame on the group we were in, who would use that excuse for both of them. But Trent, they're both. I'm gonna call it autistic potty trained, so they both kind of know better. They both should know better.
But they kind of rely on that fact.
Trent doesn't really rely on it, but Toby kind of has. Or they have gotten away with doing kind of. I say kind of, not kind of. Yes, no, not really. There have been situations where they've gotten away stupid things, and people just like use the excuse, oh, they're autistic. Yeah, blah blah blah. I'm like, all right. Anyways, that's my take on it. I think what she said was really stupid because, well, it's factual. Like you're a couple years behind.
But it's not taking accountability for
you need to like actually say, yeah, I fucked up, and it could have been because of this, but I still fucked up.
So it's more so with Toby, it's less so that like she makes any excuses because of BPD or autism or etc. It's just that she needs to make an excuse out of something.
Run that by me one more time.
So so from what everyone's been pointing out with Toby is that she makes excuses. Everyone has made different points on that. She's making excuses out of her autism. She's making excuses out of her BPD. She's making excuses out of something something. Would you say that instead of like all these specific oriented notions that she's using this specific factor in her life to make an excuse, it's just that Toby just makes excuses?
Um, I would say there's a little bit of validity to
Mm-hmm.
it. To rely on it like so heavily, like it should be there, but it should be there of like, okay, it can like for BPT and autism, it should be treated more like I understand how you made this choice and understand how you got into this mental headspace where
Mm-hmm.
you into this decision. And for that, I understand that you had good intentions. Like shit just got fucked up, and mental health is like really fucking fucky wucky.
Mm-hmm.
Like you still fucked up. Let's
Mm-hmm.
just move on. I'm going to accept the fact that you had good intentions, and we're going to move on. That's how I feel like it should be handled. And if it's
Gotcha.
like clear the intentions are not good, then yeah, get the fuck out of there.
Did you think that Toby was aware of a lot of the controversies and with her statements that hey, it's not okay?
Not okay to. I mean,
Uh,
example.
let's say with the Ben and Trent situation, blackmail Trent, immediately call Ben a pedophile.
Um, the pedophile thing, I think we all
Mm-hmm.
thought it was okay because we all kind of believed it.
Mm-hmm.
For the blackmail thing, I had no fucking idea what was going through her head.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't know if she knew any better,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew that's a thing she does. That's just a thing she does. Um,
Another this was another point I wanted to bring up. We've had several people come up and say that Toby, while other people made neutral videos about the entire drama that went on, Toby was actively tweeting or going on social media saying that that video was in support of her, which caused a lot of those videos to receive hate.
I have not seen any of that, and I cannot comment on that at all. That
Gotcha.
is completely new to me.
What do
Uh,
you? I'm sorry. Continue. Continue.
what were you saying?
Uh,
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was gonna segue into something, but you start. You go first. I'll go into that later because it's like completely different topic.
gotcha. I just want to know, how much are you aware of the entire Kai and Anya situation?
Kind Omnia. I actually watched their. I actually did watch their videos, and I was thinking. I thought about telling them, like going up to them and being like, "I've had a bit of a shitty experience with some of these
Mm-hmm.
people involved. I would like to talk about it in a private space."
Mm-hmm.
But then I decided, no, I don't want to do that. Like I listen. I'm already out of this. It is not. I do not want to be put in.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. Honestly, everyone we've interviewed so far has wanted the drama to die out. And it's natural because, hey, who wants this to live on? And our entire point with this video isn't to prolong the drama, it's just to analyze how it
Explain how it
escalated.
happened.
How it happened, why it escalated, why these parties involved got involved. Because honestly, if you look at the people who got involved, it's like, why the hell are you talking about this? You don't even know this person.
Hmm.
And it's just we're just doing literally analysis video. If you've seen Spoctor's video, he did an overview of the drama. We're analyzing the drama.
Did a what of the drama?
Spoctor Tech, he did an
Yeah, I know.
overview. Yeah.
Overview of
Mm-hmm.
what happened. I
Yeah.
was thinking about doing that like in August to talk about like the bend to be like, okay, this is what actually has been going on behind the scenes. Um oh, someone is DMing me at so I'm a moderator for this guy called Timeworks.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I get DMs where people are like, hey, Toasty Vanilla, I have an idea for a Timeworks video. You should where do I tell them?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening right now.
Oh,
It
okay.
distracted me for a hot bit.
No worries.
Anyways, um do you know who the Hotbox is, right?
Slightly. I I know the name, but I can't really place my tongue on where, and I can't
You,
really
I
tell
think
anyone
he
else.
was the first person to actually make a video on this.
Oh, is he the guy who made the original Toby hypocrisy video?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because I know Kai made a video after that. There were a couple of videos on Toby's hypocrisy, and then Kai's video, he made one and it received a lot of hate, and then he made another video with Omnia, and then his own video, and a bunch of
His
stuff.
original video got a lot of hate.
Yes, his original. Let me check.
The one that's deleted now?
I'm not aware if Kai deleted any
Oh no, not
videos.
Kai. Okay, never mind then. What is next on your questionnaire?
I actually think that we've got a lot of stuff covered so far. I'm gonna try and see if there's any more questions, because usually
What
I
about
just
that?
pick off one question and we work off, and if you bring up anything interesting, I mention it. Yeah, the
Um,
original Toby video that Kai made was over Shane Dawson, PewDiePie, and drama channels, etc. That original video received a lot of hate until the newer Toby videos came about, and then people went back to watch that original video, and it got better views.
mhm. Do you have any questions relating to like the behind the scenes? Because that's where I was mostly involved in. That's where I can give you a lot of the information is behind the scenes.
I think you've given me a lot of information behind the scenes regarding the entire Fruitcake Club, unless there's anything else you wanted to mention to me.
I'm I, hmm. All the drama is like really interwoven, and like I think of something to say, but I'm like, yes, but do I really want to talk about that publicly?
Yeah, it's
I'm trying to think about like shit that would make sense directly relating to this. And then, well, okay, I'll tell you this. Looking back on that part of my life, one, it's very happy. I'm very happy to have met those people. They have greatly improved my life, even though like looking back, some of them were kind of like not the best of friends to me. Um, but like I'm very happy to have them in my life. I don't think they're bad people. I just don't realize why didn't I leave it sooner? Because I'm looking back at it now, I'm like, I've had death threats, I've had memes depicting my rape, I've had several bandwagons based off of false information, or like screenshots taken out of context, and I've had a myriad of people betray me. Why only now did I decide it's time to leave?
Well, to be frankly honest with you, there's this thing called small group mentality or small group climate. And when that
Oh.
happens, the ethical standard, the moral standard, becomes more warped and warped because it's all dependent on that small group climate. Your personal ethics, your personal views, become restricted to that of the groups because you're spending your time with that group and your personality shifts to fit the group mentality. When that happens, when stuff happens in the group, such as one person, it's revealed that they committed a crime, 50-50 happens. Either the group covers it up and they stay together, or the group begins to disband and fight amongst each other. It depends on how strong the group mentality is.
Holy shit. I think that's like not exactly what happened to Fruitcake Club. Because like I think it was in my absence in the people starting to turn on me when it actually started to break down. I don't know how strong it is now. I don't really keep in touch with them. But like that actually explains quite a bit. You put that so well. Where the fuck did you get that from?
My ethics class.
Ah.
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff to do in this video. I'm going over a lot of crime law. I'm a criminology student, so I'm taking an ethics class right now, and there was a lot of stuff that the minute Junk brought me on, I was like, get to use my college classwork for once in my life.
I am doing a script on Aaron Burr, and that is my college classwork.
Oh, have fun with that.
Yeah. I do want to talk about Jess for a hot bit.
Oh, of course, yeah. Pop on.
Did you see her video?
Yeah.
The trailer with just a black screen, and then I remember getting messages about that. It's like, hey, yo, Toasty, this person is accusing you of grooming her, and I'm like, I watched the video. I'm like, are you sure she's saying I groomed her? It doesn't sound like it. And she's like, yeah, we're sure. And we're like, oh no, she's not. but like she still accused me of grooming with no fucking evidence. And I commented under it being like, hey, I am 100% certain I haven't groomed anyone, but if there's anything you want me to clarify or a perspective, here's my Discord link. One of her fans was like, "Oh, you really like to defend yourself, don't you?" And I'm like, yeah, I guess.
Every
And then
person has the right to.
I know, and then she comments under that. First of all, she accuses me of flagging her YouTube comments to get them deleted, which I'm like, what? Yeah, I would still see them. What? And then she then says, "Oh, I don't want to talk to you. I keep my comment keeps being deleted onto why." So I wrote about it on Twitter, and she wrote to me about it on Twitter. You know, an app I don't use, and an app she also has me blocked on. So yeah, real big brain move there, Jesp.
It's like you gave her the twig, you gave her that branch, and she
Like,
went
and
around
she was
the
like,
branch.
yeah, and then I also like I snuck on her Twitter through Obi taught me a super secret tactic of opening an incognito tab. So I snooped through there and I found, oh, one of my friends is in drama with her. So I mentioned someone I haven't talked to in ages. A lovely person. Not going to name them though. Talked to them and then we had like a good conversation. And I just like found more and more people who weren't great fans of her. And I'm like, you know what? This information might be useful later. So that was a interesting time. I don't think I'm going to respond to the Just video because I think it's nor the Akumu video because I think they're both really poorly made. One, Jesp, you need to work on condensing information. There is no reason that video should be an hour and 34 minutes long.
Her script was 119 pages long.
How the fuck does one do that?
I read at 1,000 words per minute.
No, not you. She. How do you write? Like, you had a month-ish to do it from when I was aware you were working on it to when it was posted. My most recent video, the Decuders one, I'm very proud of it. It's a very good video because I am Toasty Vanilla, the awesome, amazing, and best. That took me 8 months, and the scripting part was the hardest part, and it's like a 10-page script. And I'm like, how do you do that?
Well, most of it is... From what I saw, most of it is just screenshots and a bunch of very large headers. In total, it's more like 10,000 words. But still a pretty long script.
What was the most damning evidence in there? What was she mostly trying to accuse me of? Because I know she doesn't have very much of grooming.
There wasn't much on grooming. If anything, it was just more... The only thing I really believe that could have been an accusation was if you were immoral or, like, just someone who encouraged underage porn viewage. But that's not really a big topic to talk about since, once again, you're 19. And while legally, yes, you are an adult and you are over 18, and hey, you should have known better at the time.
Yeah, I feel.
It's immature boy looking on internet, hey, there's porn. It's teenage stuff. It's pretty casual.
Yeah. Like I said, no one got hurt. Yeah, I guess it was kind of stupid of me to do.
The only thing
I did learn my lesson. I did learn my lesson, and the P chat, it was like a stupid joke. No one really posted porn on there.
Yeah, the only thing that was actually concerning that I kind of rose an eyebrow at was that you were following Shadman.
I was following Shadman. Now, I will preface this. Actually, I followed Shadman again to piss people off, but I will preface this. I know what he's done. Not a fan of him as a person, but, like, I really like his character, and I like his art, so, like, I like seeing that in my feed, and I look at it. I don't really support him, not financially. I don't really defend him. I'm just like, I think his art's kind of cool. I look at it. That's about it, though.
Yep, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of artists that their opinions and their views are just trash can worthy. But hey, they have pretty good art. I think a lot of people, there's another artist, Sakimi-chan, I think. Very popular, but has some type of racist or transphobic views. There's always something horrible about one person one way or another. It's just expected at that point.
Wait, did she actually... Because I can't tell, because someone talked to her about it, and then they talked to me about it, and I think I was told she actually dropped the not molesting, not CP, What am I thinking of?
Shadman?
Not Chadman. Grooming. There we go. I think she dropped the grooming allegation, but I wasn't sure.
Nope. That's in
Oh,
the script.
she's still going strong on it. I think I remember one. I'm actually gonna go off on this.
Mm-hmm.
Remember one screenshot where she was like, "Oh, Toasty, even though all this drama is happening, we don't want you to kill yourself or harm yourself. That would be really bad." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, it felt like she was trying to straw man me into being uh to making herself look better, like trying to treat me as like this mentally unstable person who's gonna like cut himself and then show the world to like get sympathy points or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And she was trying to be like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that." It was like she was using me as like some sort of like as for like fucking what's the word I'm looking for? Some sort of pity point, not pity.
Mm-hmm.
Um some sort of goody two shoes points of like, "Oh, look at me, I am telling the person that I am telling the person I am making my video on that he should not cut himself or kill himself despite having no knowledge of if he does either of those. I am just assuming he does
Mm-hmm.
because he is whatever I want to make him of, and for my purposes and for my, it's like I'm a fucking doll to her."
Mm-hmm.
It was like that's mostly why I don't respect her, is because you literally dehumanized me so you could make yourself look good. You like, yeah. I'm like, oh, that was so fucked up.
I will say that for
Mhm.
Jasp's entire argument, I think Junk also said this. He said he didn't want to watch the video because it wasn't well made, and also just too long. And I agreed because I tried watching it, gave
Bored.
up, looked at the script because I can read fast.
It's funny because everyone I know just read the script. I read the script. They all read the script.
Yeah,
Uh,
because that's what I found extremely funny. Like when you mentioned like that, she made a point about like, hey, you shouldn't kill yourself. She makes these. When I analyze scripts, I do this for
mhm,
a job. I analyze context. I do content checking. When a person starts insulting another person vigorously through an argument, it's less of a rational argument and it becomes more of an emotional argument, which you don't want to
mhm,
do when you're analyzing something.
mhm,
To throw you back in high school for a second, you want to use logos and ethos, appealing to the ethics of a person and appealing to general logic. Pathos is not going to work in your favor when analyzing something.
mhm,
Pathos is going to get you in a sticky mess.
mhm.
Because relying on your emotions in an analytical video where you're supposed to be using your logic, ah, just gets
Yeah.
messy.
That one specifically really tugged at me because it's like, okay, you're literally making an assumption at me and you're so confident about it. You're just going to do it to make yourself look good. You're literally just doing this to make yourself look good.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, but one line to quote. This fucker deserves to be beaten with a chair. Holy shit.
Hey, I didn't read that part. What? This fucker deserves to be beaten with a chair. How dare he support Shadman?
Page 84, Toasty states grooming minors won't follow him forever if he makes alt accounts. This fucker deserves to be beating with a chair. Holy shit.
Hey, I said what?
I don't exactly know. She just has these random
So wait, she
notations.
quotes me saying, "Oh, if I make an alt account, I can groom as many minors as I want." No, I've never fucking said that. I made an alt account because in this fucking community, it's a fucking death cult, and you kind of have to get out of it.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah, she just has a page full of just general vague quotes that I think she's just putting out of context.
You know
Which
what?
is
Like throw
another
them at me.
conversation.
Throw them at
Let's
me.
see.
I'll take them.
Yeah, she says roll the clips. Toasty Vanilla implies this is a debate. Apparently, Toasty thinks this is a debate, not a serious chat regarding him being a child groomer. Weird.
In the Akumu video.
I think so.
So she's taking that out of context. I said the overall discussion of there's enough people on both sides that it's not just like how people in the map community say, okay, they're all pedophiles, so it doesn't matter. We know their agenda. What I am referring to in that, first of all, I should talk about let's talk about hold on, I'm going to write a note to refer to this later so I don't forget. Jesp quote. All right, let's talk about my mental state when going into that room. Yeah. What was it called? Oh, we should all shut the fuck up. Okay. So Foxton was kind of trying to get herself involved in this because I kind of knew Akumu was making a video. He reached out to one of my thumbnail artists at the time. I'll reach out to a bunch of people who she sent to Ben the Looney. Who was like, bro, fuck off. That Chad move right there, Ben the Looney telling Akumu to fuck off. And so, like, I knew they were doing this for a while, and Foxton kept coming up to me being like, oh, they're dogpiling you again, oh, this and that. And I would tell Foxton, hey, dude, I don't care. They're doing this, they can do this, they're allowed to do this, and I'm not going to really respond. Because one, I was planning on leaving anyways, because I'm like, okay, fine. They're just doing a video on like someone who's not really going to be around. There's no point to respond. And then she kept insisting on like making group chats with me and them. This is like during my moments when I was leaving. So like I would see them. Sometimes I would ignore them, and then like sometimes when the group chat happened, I don't know if there's any screenshots of the group chat. I talked to them, and then I left. And then on my final day when I was actually about to like set my account for deletion, I was waiting to like finish an issue between me and another friend. I was waiting on that, and then she says, oh, they're dogpiling you again. I ignore her. And then she says something else, and then I was like, okay, I respond to her, and then she sends me a link to that server, and she's basically like, okay, these people want to talk to you. She says like, these people want to talk to you. So already I was trying to like push her out of this because I was telling her, yo, I don't care. Like, they can do whatever they want. Like, it's not my business. And they kept saying, oh, we have so much dirt on you. We are going to make a huge video. Ironically enough, most of the video was of that conversation. So, they either, one, never had a video in the first place and bluntly lied, or two, deleted the whole video and just made a new one from scratch. Because apparently that conversation was better. Anyways, as I was saying, so I go into that and I'm not... First of all, I'm going to bring up this point. Why did Foxton invite... This is going to come up later, but Foxton invited minors into that call. A call where she knew the subject of pornography was unavoidable. Was going to be the main topic of debate. And these aren't just, like, about to become adults. Like these were 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, like pretty young people. I didn't know this, by the way. I didn't know the room was filled with minors. The only person I was aware of that was underage was Foxton and Akumu, who I knew at the time were both 17. Foxton was about to turn 18, and Akumu was a bit of a degenerate, so like whatever. So at one point in the debate, they accused me of... Not debate. Why am I saying debate? At one point in the discussion, so I remember I saw Akumu join, and I was like, all right, listen, I'm muting Akumu. I don't really want to talk to him. And they were like, oh, why are you so fucking petty? Because I'm like, I didn't know, you never told me he would be here. And I thought this was just so you guys could address to me what was going on, and I could explain to you what's happening. I thought you guys were going to be neutral party. No, they weren't. They were straight up, they weren't there to address anything with me, because one, they already did. And two, they all already had stances. They already went to my server and called me a pedophile multiple times. So like I already knew their stances. They weren't there to address shit with me. They were there to dogpile me. They were there because they wanted to like record me in a cage and see what I do. They even said in the video, they cut it out obviously because they're smart. Well, not that smart, but like they're not stupid. Cut out the part where Akumu says you're not being recorded. You can say whatever stupid shit you want, and I say something really fucked up. I'm gonna lampshade that just in case they actually have the balls to release the full recording, which they won't. So during the recording, Akumu accuses me of having child porn on my computer or looking it up, and I'm like, okay. And this was pretty stupid of me, I'm not gonna lie. And I said, okay, I will share my screen, and I will show you my search history, and I will show you everything I have downloaded. Because sometimes I download that stuff. I start searching everyone, and I didn't show them anything. I just kind of waited as for people to join. I was going to show them my search history first, and then confirm to see if they wanted to see my download history.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, "Oh, why are you doing this? There's a bunch of kids here." And I'm like, "Oh, that's on me. My bad. That was impulsive of me. I'm sorry." And I apologize for it right then and there because yeah, that was impulsive of me. But I let Akumu. That's the one thing I regret. I let Akumu bait me into that. So, as for the quote, did hold the stance, and I do hold the stance at the time that what is happening overall, like this whole subject of is underage character art child porn or not, how should we treat this? It's a debate.
It is. It's a very
Yeah,
legal gray area.
Yeah, it straight up is, and that's what I was telling them of like this is a debate, and one I don't really have a part in.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was telling them. Now, what they were doing was a dog pile. They were just there to talk shit about me, and I was just kind of took it.
Mm-hmm.
What other stupid shit could I have said there? So they was saying that one fucked up thing. I don't remember what it was, but I knew it. Like it made them all really uncomfortable. Which you know what? It was. I took a little enjoyment out of making them all uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
For putting me in monkey cage, record monkey, see what monkey do. I took a little gratitude out of that. So and then the Slimurs thing where I kind of give them the illusion, like give them ammo for them to say, "Oh, you're having a sexual relationship with Slimurs." I'm like, no, it's like really basic stuff. We don't really talk about sex.
Mm-hmm. It
And
happens.
then I remember, yeah, I tried to clarify that with Akumu afterwards, and he just told me, "Oh no, it's too late. You already said you already said it. You can't back down now." I'm like, "All right, man. I mean, whatever."
So basically, what happened is that Akumu and Foxton got you in a call specifically to dogpile and take your stuff out of context. They took it out of context, and then Jess looked at Akumu's video and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take it even more out of context."
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's general
it's like a super fucked up game of telephone.
Oh yeah, that's what I've been hearing about that drama as an entirety.
I know Lucy did a video with Fox, and that's why I had a high opinion of her because like association. I talk to her sometimes. Oh, another thing I got shit for. Foxton like kind of insisted this joke on me, where he's like, "Haha, I'm your underage pimp," and I'm like, it's a bit weird, but like I guess if you want to call yourself my underage pimp, go for it.
Yep,
And then people were like, "Oh, why is this person calling themselves your underage pimp?" And I'm like, I am not responsible for whatever stupid shit she does. I did not ask her to do that. I didn't even encourage it. I was just like, you do you, my guy.
This is sorry, something. This is very similar to something that Minty mentioned that I think, I'm not too clear, but she mentioned that someone had tried to do the same exact thing that someone did to you, to get a group of minors in a call with her to build up false evidence and false accusations against her because she was going after Toby.
I remember this. Not really. From my prone personal perspective, the only shit we were planning on doing was one, me and Slimurs were gonna like address because once the tweet came out and everyone was talking, me and Slimurs discovered Ben's Kiwi Farms and his past, and we were gonna be like, all right, let's actually give him a fair fight, and like let's get him in a call with us, me and you, Slimurs, and Ben. We're gonna address this with him, and we're gonna say, all right, we want to know what happened. Just be honest with us. What's going on? That never happened. Yeah, shit hit the fan too quickly. Things moved along. He left the server. Everyone got blocked. Trent got Toby's OnlyFans got leaked. Trent got blackmailed. All that fun shit. So me and Slimmers were gonna do that. Never happened. As for that, I'm going. He's not really involved, but I am going to name drop him because I'm not going to name drop him actually. There is this one guy. He came from Lucy's server. I met him. I was in one of his videos. about Yandere Dev. I felt really bad for him afterwards because like we kind of secondhand peer pressured him into all of this, and we shouldn't. And I probably should have had a talk with him of hey, you shouldn't be involved in this. I feel bad for like not doing that, being like I need to push you out of this because he's 15. He shouldn't have been in it at all. But at the time I was kind of desperate and would take any help I could get. I think that is who Minty is referring to. I don't know, and we never tried to get Minty into any calls. Or at least I don't think they did. But
this may have been after you lost contact with the group.
I was still in contact with Minty. But that group wasn't made up of minors. Like that person I'm talking about, they weren't really in the group. They were just kind of like not an outsider, but like there was someone we knew and someone we all respected, and we're like, "Yo, good job, talented kid, love him." I knew she had a problem with him, and I think she treated him a bit aggressively. But that's the only minor I know of that was actually involved in this that I was actually in contact with. So I don't really know that much of like those minors trying to get Minty into a group call. They probably, and I'm gonna say they probably weren't associated with us, unless if it was that person I'm referring to or Slimurs.
Gotcha. So you've honestly answered a lot of my questions. I am very happy. This has given me a lot of information to work off of.
Really, I'm happy. I'm happy about that.
So I just have two questions left. One is, are you aware that Ben has made a apology video regarding everything that's happened?
Regarding to who?
Regarding everything that's happened, like his
I actually found out about that today, and I talked to Zena about it. I'm like, yo, did you see this happened? Sent him a message, and I was gonna like kind of have a small. He hasn't responded yet, but I was gonna have a small chat with him about like the thing going on, that video in particular. I haven't watched it yet because I'm a little bitch. Oh no, what is he apologizing for? I'm assuming you watched it.
Yes, I had to analyze it. So Ben apologized that he is aware that what he is drawing is not necessarily, well, cool. And he made a note that the reason why he posted the OKKO drawing was out of spite. He mentioned that he had a falling out with the group, and after a while, he just felt like, fuck it. I don't care anymore. They can't just control me like that. And it was less so a notion of, hey, I support this, or hey, whatever, but it was just like a kind of spiteful thing, like a just in spite of the stuff he was getting, because he said he felt very attacked when everybody pulled him aside.
Did tell Ben I was going to make a public apology. I have yet to do so because I have yet to have this is like the first time I am actually going out, having an online presence in this community again. I did tell Ben because that definitely came from my apology to him. He just straight up told him to his face, what you did was shady and disrespectful. Like it was more, this is what I was more insulted about rather than that. But I still did apologize to him, like sincerely, because I did fuck him over. Like I brought that upon him. I started that, and I was like, I'm sorry. Like those fucking pedo allegations were just too far. That was my fault.
Snowballs turn into avalanches. But yeah, Ben mostly mentioned that he recognizes that while he doesn't really see the problem with it, it is a problem in a majority of society, and a lot of his friends were getting caught up in the drama because of it. He mentioned how Trent was heavily affected by the drama because Trent and all of his other friends stood up for him, and because of that they got pulled into the drama, and he was expressing mostly his remorse for the fact that his actions had caused that big of an impact.
I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you something, and I sincerely, and I trust you that this isn't going to be in any cut of the video because I want this to be private.
Of course.
Okay, so I'm going to say quote, and this is quote. This is where the part gets cut. Okay, unquote. We don't need to talk about her.
Gotcha. We, in this entire drama, have been looking at the Toby drama and mostly just Toby. The fruitcake drama and the full-on Ben the Looney drama, those, while we would love to dig deeper into those things, we've watched over 14 hours of video footage from various different
Jesus,
creators.
14 hours.
Yeah, because a
Damn.
lot of people like making 30-minute and an hour-long videos. I still need to finish Kai's entire series, and that's gonna be at least another hour and a half. There's a lot and a lot of videos. It makes sense why the drama got so complicated, because everybody has made a
Everyone,
video.
okay, yeah, it's so complicated because guess what? Everyone, there is so much behind the scenes and so much I can't talk about and don't want to talk about. I'll talk. When it comes to my head, I will try to talk more about it. But everyone had a connection to someone, and over
Yep.
time, things just started to degrade till it got to a point where we and Toby rocked the hell out of the boat, and
Mm-hmm.
it all just exploded.
Yep.
This was a buildup of a year. I saw it build up. I saw it build up, and I saw it come down, and I dodged a fucking bullet. Ah!
Yep. We've been looking into a lot of the people and why they started getting dragged into the drama, and what we noticed that was, hey, this person made a video because, hey, this happened. So that was the original Kai and Omnia drama. They made a video because, hey, Omnia had contacted Toby as a fan, was interested, and later on, Toby made a statement that went against what she previously said, which made Omnia concerned. So Omnia started looking deeper into things, made a critical video, which then got Toby's attention. Toby called it out. Toby was upset, made a response video, and that started the base drama. Then other people were dragged in by other people. We are not too clear, but apparently Libby might have dragged in several people into the drama to defend Toby.
Really?
She
Doesn't sound like something she would do.
yeah, I don't think she ever meant it maliciously. We're still not clear on the details, but it's either she did or someone else in the Fruitcake Club did, because we have several people that say, yeah, someone else dragged me into it, but I don't want to name them, or they did name them and then they retracted that statement. It's a blurry line, and honestly, we're not too clear on it. But what we do know is that Junk was originally dragged into the video
Yeah, we did
Libby.
drag. Oh, and okay. I don't remember actually. Yeah, we did.
Uh-huh.
We did talk to Junkie about the fucking when it was happening.
Yeah, the only reason why I'm aware of it is because, so I'm quality check. I come in, I
Hmm.
look at stuff. Junk called me in because I'm a script editor. I do content checking, I look at everything that goes on, and then I say, hey, Junk, the script's good to go. He gives me cash, and I leave.
Hey.
I was looking through the script, and at that point, it was maybe a 30-page script. Looking through everything, and I noticed that, hey, Libby was writing some stuff down, and I was like, huh, okay, let me just edit this. And I would try and edit. Usually I get in call with people. That's how I can say, hey, so did you mean this or this? Because, people write out what they want to, but it's not always what they really want to say. Like, let's say the rug was purple, but you really want to say the rug kind of looked purple, but it could have not been purple. You
Hmm.
want to be precise with that stuff. Libby refused to have any calls. And from what Junkie
Yeah.
told me, Libby also didn't want me to edit the script.
What?
Yeah, she was apparently very reluctant to let me edit the script. And what
Have
also
a
happened?
history? Do you have like history with these people, or are you
No,
like fresh?
I've. Here's the thing. I didn't know. I don't have any personal connections to anyone in this drama, except maybe Jar and Libby, and that's only because I've worked on their scripts for a collab with Junkie. I only know Junkie in this entire situation. Everyone else
What?
I've reached out to, it's just because it's my job.
Given what I've heard of my reputation, because I'm going to be real, I have not a fucking clue what half of these, like, where half of these rumors are coming from. I've never dove into, like, what people think of me. what's been going on. No one's told me. People just unfollow me on Twitter, and I'm like, I don't know if this is because you think I'm a groomer. I don't know if this is because you think I'm an asshole. But okay, go for it. I don't really care either way.
Yeah, most of Jess's video is just all the commentary on you. It comes from that dog pile
Hmm.
conversation with Foxton.
Um, I remember there's a specific part that I don't think ever got brought up. I don't think this ever got brought up again. But I think Akumu pressured Foxton to recording the call in which I like showed that the art of. Uh, they censored it, which I think was like, okay. You want to know what the funniest part about the Akumu video is? So they censor it to make it look as bad as possible. Be like, oh, we can't show you this. But later in the video, it comes up again in the but uncensored. They just
Oh, that's
it's up
nice.
there again, but it's uncensored.
Mm-hmm.
So they either one don't care enough to like go back into the video and like recensor it. They don't actually care. They don't believe it's actual porn, and they're only doing that to make me look bad. Or two, the production quality is so low, the video was so rushed, and they didn't like care enough to like actually comb through the video and make sure everything makes sense to like catch that and put it in. So it's like you're lazy or you're stupid.
Yeah. But yeah, I really appreciate all the time that you devoted. Like, this has been a very long interview. And
Oh yeah.
so far, a lot of the Fruitcake Club members have been, like, they would start interviews and then deny interviews. And it was very frustrating. But thank you, because you're literally the only person so far who I've been able to
I've been like
contact. And
full. That's like Sean showed
full
you full
disclosure.
honesty.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's just because they feel like they've done something wrong and they don't want to talk about it, because I think of all the people involved, but besides Junk's previous bias for being friends with Jar and such, we're the most neutral party who's actually going over everything. That's why this video has been taking long. We've been in the research stage for the past month now.
Ooh.
And we had to
Um.
start fresh from the original Libby collab because I didn't know jack shit. So I told Junk, hey, if you're doing a new video, I'm just gonna pop in and make sure you're not being biased because that original video, he
Um.
didn't know what he was doing.
Um. We'll say this. I think it's kind of. I think people. So like I've name dropped quite a few people in
Mm-hmm.
this video, in this interview. Um. Mainly because I'm not scared of them at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think some people in this community are kind of pussies. Like the only
Mm-hmm.
reason I wouldn't bring up someone's name is if they are if they're like a sideshow and there's no actual reason to like bring
Mm-hmm.
them in. Like the other kid I was talking about, or that June situation where it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's either like super personal, like there's no reason to bring it up, or it's they're not really that important and it would just be like name dropping for the sake of like it look weird.
Mm-hmm.
um I think people who, because there's one situation, oh my god, because name you need to name drop people sometimes because sometimes people need to be held accountable for stupid
Yeah.
fucking decisions. Because there was one incident that kind of pissed me off
Mm-hmm.
in which there was a rumor going around that I was going to make a video. There were several rumors going around that I was making several videos on several people. Most of them started by Jess, but this one in particular was saying I was going to collab with Creepshow Art and making. Have you heard this?
No, but that's funny.
Okay, I was going, and I know Creepshow. I know Shannon. I've talked to her a few times. I wouldn't call us friends,
Mm-hmm.
but we've talked. She's helped me through
Acquaintances.
some.
You're in the community.
She's helped me through shit. I have a lot of respect for her. She's a
Mm-hmm.
sweet person. She's helped my friends. I'll have a lot of respect for Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that I was going to make a video on this specific person with Shannon. And this specific person went to another specific person and told them, "Oh my god, Toasty is gonna make this video on me. I'm so scared, blah 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 blah."
Uh-huh.
They come to two of my friends, and my friends are like, "Yo, we're freaking out. Are you making a video on this specific wait, I'm trying to figure out my characters here. On this specific person with Shannon." I'm like, whoa. At first, my response was, "Yo, holy shit, Shannon's making a video on this person who just happens to be my rival right now?
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah." And then they're like, "Oh, are you helping her?" And I'm like, "Oh." And so that goes back down. and the person that specific person went up to talk about, tell, oh, Toasty was making a video on me, blah, blah, blah. Ask that person, where did you get this rumor from? And they wouldn't tell. Even though the name of that person would so easily just probably one, stop a bunch of other fucking stupid rumors, um, and two, actually hold them accountable for whatever the fuck they were doing. Because, like, why would you spread a rumor like that? Secondly, oh, it was at the top of my head. Secondly, have you seen the Jesp tweets?
I'm not a Twitter person. That's why I've just left like the Twitter war stuff to junk, or if it's in a video, I look at it. But I'm not a person to like look at a tweet, go into another person, stop tweeting, look at their tweets and their replies and what they retweet and what they like, etc., etc. I'm analytical, but I'm
that's a
not.
whole other specialty.
Yeah, it's like
I
I'm
feel you.
analytical, but I'm not a social media guru nut. I can't.
Yeah, the only reason I knew about so Jess made some stupid fucking tweets basically saying, um, basically saying, oh, what was it? It was content warning, betrayal, Toasty Vanilla. It's been exposed that Toasty Vanilla was planning to make a video on one of his friends. Hope they disassociate. And I have heard so many things on who this person was that they were saying I was going to make a video on. From Mad Libs, one which makes no fucking sense. Sure, I have dirt on everyone, including her.
Friend group.
Including her, but like it makes no sense. Like, okay, I'm trying to like get out of this, like stay out of the cycle, and then I'm like, oh yeah, let me make a video on one of my buddies. Be like, and then I heard like that's what I heard from Minty. That's what she told me. It's like, oh, it was Mad Libs, and I'm like, that makes no fucking sense. Then what I heard from Xena, her conversation she had with Nezzy, is that Nezzy was warning Xena and Lucy that I was going to make a video on them, which makes even less sense. Like, that tweet happened on the day I met Xena IRL. Why would I be making a video on someone I am planning on physically meeting? And they have no excuse for this too, since this tweet happened after Xena made a tweet proving that we met, and it was like a joke tweet of like us like doing something stupid on a Twitter video. Like, what? How? Oh my God, Jess, you fucking dumbass. Oh yeah, another thing about Jess. I'm going to continue ranting about her because this is basically my video on her. Whatever. It substitutes. In the video, her trailer video, she name drops Nezzy, Junkie, Peaches, someone else for no fucking reason. Just for like, it felt like she was bragging to me that she knows these people and that, oh, these people are gonna come with me. They're on my side. All these people, they're on my side. And that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. She was basically, oh, guys, don't dress, da da da. Like, the subtext, it was like, I know these people. He's scared of me, and I'm like,
oh
you mega pussy.
Trust me, to be brutally honest with you, we did not consider our entire list of people that we had for interviews originally. We started off maybe with 7 people, and then when we talked to these 7 people, they said, hey, you should also talk to blank and blank. So we follow up with blank and blank, and they say, you should go to blank. So we go to blank, and they say, you should also go to blank. Or someone will make a comment and say, you should go to blank. And what we were noticing is that I was looking through and I was like, people keep on bringing up this fruitcake club. And I was like, who's a part of the fruitcake club? Look at the members, look at the drama. I'm like, who's this Toasty guy? And Junk's like, I don't know. Something, something. Jess made a video, something, something. I'm like, but he's a part of the fruitcake club? He's like, yeah. I'm like, Minty also mentioned Toasty. So did Ben and Trent. He's like, yeah. I'm like, I need to interview him. And he's like,
I had a sneaky feeling, and that sneaky feeling is right. I hope I have brought you a gold mine of
Oh my
information.
god, this is, you're literally the only person I'm aware of in the Fruitcake Club, except maybe Fuchsia Butters, who was
At least he's,
able to
at least he was chill.
give
Hmm?
information to me. Everyone else went through junk. I've taken on Minty, you, and Miss.
I guess while I'm talking about this, would you like? I'm gonna only put it vaguely. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
name names or put specifics. But would you like to know the major dramas
Sure.
have this? So, let me think here. In February, there is this one lady who I was a little bit romantically involved with. I asked them out for um
Mhm.
Valentine's Day, and we joked about it. They got into a call with a bunch of people and just started talking shit. And then they got called out for talking shit. This is the first bandwagon,
Mhm.
and that happened. There was one really big situation with that lasted from April 20th down to May 30th, in which it was just a straight out war. It almost went public 3 times, but thankfully it didn't. Um, that was a very tense situation. Eventually, that said person apologized to me because they instigated several fights.
Mhm.
Um, and everything went good. And then there was the June incident. So that's 3. And then Ben the Looney.
Mhm.
And then those are the major incidences. I'm trying to think if there's another. Oh yeah, there was that one person who was dating a 22-year-old. They were like 16, and everyone was like, "Ah, we're really uncomfortable by this." And then that was a thing.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's about really it.
Drama
Um,
Rama.
Dramarama. Most of those are private. They don't really matter anymore. Uh, hopefully they don't come up again. But like, judging my fear
Mhm.
is that I'm gonna have a big fight. It's gonna be public as fuck with one of my ex thumbnail artists, but I'm going to try and just ignore her. Just be like, dear God, please, please just shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your name. Just like stay away from me. Uh,
Oh,
uh
trust me, drama and this video, I'm expecting some backlash to happen because inevitably there's apparently some people assuming that we're going to be defending them through this video, and I was like, huh?
like, oh, if I may inquire, what did
Mm-hmm.
Minty say about me?
Minty, I think she just mentioned that you were part of the Fruitcake Club, and that was about it. She didn't really go that depth into it.
Interesting.
Yeah, she
Interesting.
most of her mentions towards the Fruitcake Club were because we're mostly focusing on Toby, and I think we both know how Minty feels about Toby.
Hmm.
Yeah, those were our major concerns because she was our yaoi drama incident expert because she was a member of the yaoi community. She was a representative of the yaoi community and why there was offense during
Representative.
everything
Oh,
going
okay.
on. Well, she was the one who made the yaoi drama video, and she was able to explain to us what all the terms were, why it was such a big
Mm.
concern, um, and why even though like as you said, like you're not aware, and a lot of people don't think Toby directly like mention for underage viewers in her community to go look at um, heavily explicit material. It's still a concern since she put it on a Twitter where there are underage people and it's not like an 18 plus Twitter. It was just out there and all that other concerns, and there was other notions that we also asked her about because she was close in depth with the Ben the Looney situation, friends with Trent and Ben the Looney. So yeah, she was our expert on that specific area of the drama because hey, everybody was mentioning the yaoi drama, yaoi drama, yaoi drama, but nobody was actually, going in depth with it. And I'm a curious little rat, so
Ah,
I
interesting.
dug my way in to every nook and cranny. I have sticky notes everywhere that all say la la la.
Oh, I have. You actually had like write shit down, like put sticky notes everywhere.
Oh, I've been taking notes throughout this entire conversation.
I know. I'm interested in what those notes read. Do you care to share a few with me?
there's like 5 pages. Let me flip through.
Ooh, because I did hear your pen go clickety clackety click.
Yeah,
I have my own notebook. I wrote my notebook onto topics I should not under any circumstance discuss, and I have now just realized I have broken several of those.
I think like the first couple things, most of them are just like things that you were saying, and I mentioned like key points, and then I'd highlight or like I'd scribble something, and be like, "Hey, mention this as a question." Like you said, the fruitcake club started. Zizi was not too involved, but she was involved with the fruitcake club at some point. Then I highlighted a question that brought up. I was like, was a fruitcake club just like a server group, or was it close friends? And then you mentioned that uh,
You know what? Fuck it.
that
I'm just gonna give
Toby.
you the whole list of members who were up at one point a part of the Fruitcake Club, in case you want to like
Ooh,
put filler into your video.
yay!
So and I'm gonna only mention YouTubers and artists.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna mention the Madame Mods. So, there was in list of chronological order of when they joined. There was me, Slimurs, Miss ZZ. Oh wait, no. OMG James, then Miss ZZ, Nani, Adlibs, Fuchsia Butters. Oh, now I have to think. Madlibs, Fuchsia Butters, Junkie. We're in January now. Junkie. Could be next. Teddy that draws. Hopeless Peaches. ARD. Don't know if you know who ARD is.
Nope.
He's a talented boy. He's a wholesome Brit.
ART?
ARD.
ARD.
On Twitter.
So Teddy that draws Hopeless Peaches, ARD, Mimi Diggs.
Manga Common.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I'm just going this off my head. Lumi Starbun, she was in February. Just a Robot. What's his name? The guy with the orange hair who does the movie reviews, who's not at all associated with our community, but somehow weaseled his way in there. Luke? Mark Ellis.
Oh, Mark Ellis.
Mark. Oh god, this is really hard to do by head.
Jawa. You mentioned Jawa at some point.
Yeah, Jawa. Gar, so that would be Slimmer's boyfriend. Roachy Boy, another one of Slimmer's friends. Said Manga Common. On the tip of my head. Toby was in there.
Toby, Nezzy.
God, I wish I hadn't left it so I could just like go in and check, check the join history. Trent, Ben the Looney. Who do you have on the list? Start naming people.
Toasty, Slimurs, OMG, James, Miss ZZ, Nani, Madlibs, Fuchsia Butters, Junkie, Ted that Draws, Hopeless Peaches, ARD, Mimi Diggs, Manga Common, Lumi Starbun, Just a Robot, Mark Ellis, Jawa, Gar, Roachy Boy, Toby, Nezzy, Trent, and Ben the Looney.
You almost sang that in a song.
Oh yeah. I'm a very... I used to do music when I was younger. Now I'm just like, I do it, and I think people call me out on it. They're like, why are you singing? But what did you do that you sing? I'm like, oh, I used to be in choir.
Why do you sing?
Yeah, I think Joey brings it up because I'll be like doing something, I'll be humming. He's like, what? Why are you humming? I'm like, why do you hum?
Why do you hum?
Why do you hum? What are you humming? I think he asked me on several occasions. He's like, have you ever thought of becoming a singer? Like, you sing a lot. I'm like, oh, that was my childhood dream. Once upon a long time ago.
Once upon a broken childhood.
Once upon a broken childhood, when I had self-confidence. And now I'm a slump.
I feel you. Oh, Junkie's girlfriend was in there. Faye.
In there.
Yeah, she was in there. She was actually one of the first ones. She joined with Junkie. Adlibs, did I mention that?
You mention Mad Lips.
Okay. It's big boy think brain time.
No one like Spocter Theory or like Fey Ghost.
Fagos, I knew both of them, but I don't
But
think
they
they
weren't in
joined.
the okay.
Chaos might have been. I actually don't
Chaos
remember.
552.
I think I invited her. I don't know if she joined or not, but she was given an invitation. We talked about inviting Shannon, but like she had beef with people in the server, so we couldn't.
Yeah.
At the time, she did. I think that's it for the notable members.
Yeah, honestly, thank you. But yeah, once again, this is like the third time. Thank you so much for your time.